Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Green here, and welcome back to another video. So, first up we're going to open up this one with the fight against Entangling Poison Ivy, and overall we're going to have some fights from my main account in Soul Raids. So, EPI over here, we're going to have the Special 2 disabled, and you might have seen that there's some health missing from her. There might or might not have been a fight previously where I used Mr. Freeze. Let me repeat that, I used Mr. Freeze considering the Special 2 as disabled. So I used Mr. Freeze with absolutely no way to disable EPI, but yeah, no need to suffer through that fight, we're just getting to what actually worked. But a Special 2 disable is not a big deal for the League of Anarchy, because we can like stun with the Special 3 of EPI. So that's gonna be fine. We have Dark Metal cards on Harley, and we have other artifacts on the other two characters. I think a level 4 Nora Snow Globe and the level 2 Thermal Gloves on Joker. Joker is there to provide additional dot damage because he does that with his passive, and while that's not the best thing in the world, it's good, it's good. And since using Raven here would have been an overkill, I think that's the absolute best scenario. And yeah, she's got a 25% chance to stun you on tag in, I'm pretty sure, or 33%, can't really remember which one of them. And also Harley has got the chance to reflect the stun on tag in, so when we actually get stunned, boy, that's gonna be quite an event. That's going to be quite an unlikely occurrence, but nevertheless, that's gonna happen. Something that I think it's also interesting is that that was useful at the start, really, because at the start we reflected a few stuns, and even though EPI did not use the Special 3 to stun, we got some hits against the stun boss EPI. So that was a decent interaction that I didn't even keep in mind, because usually the bosses that stun you on tagging are going to be bosses that are also going to be resistant to stun for some reason, and you're not gonna see that interaction a whole bunch. But yeah, we're not gonna have much trouble here. EPI back in there. Come on, chopping again. Into a Special 3. There we go. Harbor Harley Quinn back in there. Yeah, that's going to be it for boss EPI. Actually, I did not back off there myself. That was yet again a misinput, that I thought it was only an emulator, but you guys told me it happens on phone when the character backs off into ranged attack without you intending to. But yeah, there's Reverse Flash and an Amulet of Arcanes, so yeah, pretty crappy rewards. So this is the first of two fights of Raven that I want to show you. So in those fights we're going to have Dark Metal cards on Raven, on this one at the very least, and the R artifacts on the other two characters that I mentioned previously, level 4 Nora Snow Globe and level 2 Thermal Gloves for the passive stats. And first up I'm going to attempt to use Raven Dark Metal cards, and then I'm going to attempt to use Raven with All Blades to see which one of them deals more damage. Special 3 in there, 3 darkness stacks, let's go. Reverse Flash back in. We're not going to leave Reverse Flash as the combo builder for the entirety of the fight, because when we no longer struggle with power generation, we want to stay in the fight with Raven for longer durations of time. But first of all, we're getting all the darkness out of the way, and Reverse Flash is going to tremendously help out with that. Another Special 3 in there. Yeah, the only reason I'm basically using this team is because all the teams that I have used previous to this were able to kill or one-shot what they needed to without the help of Raven, and then I was left with Raven, and I could have used her with Silver Banshee. That would have also been an option, most likely a better option, but I want to try this thing too. Raven back in there, we're also going to use Super Move. She gets a bunch of attack depending on how many darkness stacks she's got. Keep in mind this Raven that I'm using is only 5 stars, so not 6 stars, so not peak performance passive. And at the same time we're going to have a hybrid build where I do have max crit chance, max crit damage, max fast attack chance, but I also do have max defense and max resistances, so the stats are going to be pretty split, and that matters a lot because we're missing on a bunch of attack, and in this scenario that attack would have been great. Yeah, to be fair, the damage is kind of underwhelming. I was expecting more from Dark Metal cards Raven, but I guess the problem with Dark Metal cards Raven is that both Raven passive and Dark Metal cards, while they do have a good synergy with each other, both of them are going to work in the following way. The more damage you're going to deal without them, the more damage you're going to deal with them. It's not something that boosts a flat amount of your damage, they both boost a percentage of your damage. So that might be why the results are a little bit underwhelming, especially because of my Raven hybrid build. And another part of the reason why the results might be underwhelming is because I kind of sucked at some points here. and I failed the combo interruption, but yeah, it is what it is, okay? You're getting a little bit more of a relatable experience, am I right? Because nobody is perfect at combo interruption, definitely not me, as you can see over here. Boy, this could have gone so much better, my dudes. So much better. My combo interrupting skills are just not what they used to be, and I'm working on adjusting it, okay? I'm working on getting better again. And why did he crit resist there? We were on the guaranteed crits area, my dudes. And yeah, one final mess up. But yeah, it is what it is. Look, I'm gonna be fair. If I play this well, if I play this better, and there was definitely room for playing it better, I think we would have gotten maybe 150 mil. But yeah, let's get in some more fights, and then we'll go back to another Raven fight against the same target, so we can get a clear picture of the difference in damage. At least for me, with my gameplay skills. It might be different for you guys. So here we have the Kryptonite Spear on Arkham Knight Batman. That's going to allow his specials to be bypassing shields if they're above a certain amount of combo. For my level of Kryptonite Spear on this account, which is level 5, I think we all need a 32 combo. So that's not going to be too hard to achieve. And we have Dark Metal cards on Heartbreak Harley Quinn in order to get that crit resistance bypassed. And EPI is going to have the level 4 North Snow Globe for the passive stats. And it's going to be pretty much your basic Heartbreak Harley Quinn fight. The only difference being that we're not using all blades, which I would normally use in this scenario here, because we need to bypass that crit resistance. And it's not different in terms of gameplay because of the Kryptonite Spear. Like on the secondary account, it's different a bit because I do longer combos with Heartbreak Harley Quinn, because I need to go all the way to 36 combo in order to activate the Kryptonite Spear, but here I don't need to, so we're just going to play it normally. And yeah, even if you play normally, you're most likely going to a lot of times reach 36 combo, but as you can see in the last segment we didn't reach it. So it's something you have to keep in mind, but here we just don't care. And Grodd is down. Like, so far, Grodd has been a breeze, my dudes, because of free artifacts, and I just love to see that. We're destroying his ass, and this should be a hard fight using free artifacts, and I just love to see that. For here we have a Batman Ninja team fight, and this dude has a decent amount of health, but if we play it well, and boy, that's not a good start for that. We're going to be able to one-shot here. Again, we have the level 4 North Snow Globe and the level 2 Thermal Gloves on the other two characters for the passive stats, and I did put a level into Thermal Gloves. I don't particularly like the artifact that much, and I'm most likely not going to be actively using it, but when you have limited resources at your disposal in terms of materials, for the passive stats only, for the passive stats part of it specifically, it's going to be more efficient to level up two artifacts at the same time. But then I encounter a lot of fights where I have to use two artifacts, or it's convenient to use two artifacts that are not going to be on ice artifacts, so I'm pretty conflicted on my decision over there, so let me know what you think about that. I think I'm going to leave the Thermal Gloves at level 2 for now and keep going with Normal Snow Globe until a higher level, because the higher level we get, the closer we're going to get to a point where we are going to use either one of them on a damage dealer instead of something else, so yeah. Let me know what you think about that, but yeah, this was actually a quite easy one-shot. I was expecting to have to struggle a little bit more, but that went well, went smoothly enough. Here we have Red Hood. He's missing some health, and this was a fight that I'm not going to show because I got an error in the middle of it. Like, I didn't mess up. When I mess up, and it's my fault, I'm going to admit it. But here we used Mr. Freeze again with Brainiac, and everything was going well. We were on our way to one shot, and when there was like 1 minute left of the fight, the controls were just not responding. Like, I couldn't press anything, and that was a problem with the emulator. And it happened a few times in the past where literally I can't do anything no matter what I try to do, and I can't fix that, and I just sit there and die. I can't even pause the game. And I DM'd my dudes from LD Player on Facebook or something. I was not expecting them to answer, but they were quite helpful, and they were like, bruh, we like know that issue, we like fixed it. Could you please update your emulator to the most recent version? And I'm like, oh, all right. Sorry for the trouble, my dudes. But you're real cool dudes. By the way, if you need an emulator to play Injustice Mobile on, I wholeheartedly recommend LD Player. There's gonna be a link to it in the description, as it always is. And if you need to kind of a guide on a keybinds, you just search how to play Injustice Mobile on PC, and you're going to be able to find that over there. But yeah. We have green arrows, so green lantern actually, so we don't have to actually worry about combo interrupting. And we have to make use of the Jokerized Veterans and activate them with a special tree. While that's active, we're going to get a poison effect inflicted on the enemy. That's going to deal additional damage. And boy, main part of it is getting those 4 fast tech hits, like my dude. Those 4 fast tech hits are just too juicy to pass up. It's by far the best artifact for Manta when you're not using Brainiac at the very least, because when you're using Brainiac, then there's like Beta Club. But in other than that, it's by far the best one. And looks like the shield from Green Lantern is going to be just enough to get us through the entire fight without having to combo interrupt. And boy, I just couldn't be happier. And I was expecting to have to struggle a little bit more against this dude, but this went well. It went real well. Like if the whole duration of the fight would have gone by, I think we would have dealt like 180 mil damage or something like that. But yeah, getting back to the Raven fight, so here we instead have All Blades on Raven. And I'm not using Dark Metal cards or Reverse Flash to set up the guaranteed crits, because we have the level 2 thermal gloves, and it's getting to the point where I kind of have to give up on I don't know how much is it exactly, like 4k attack to get the guaranteed crits. At this point I'm like, okay, it might not be worth it, especially keeping in mind the Raven multiplier from Darkness. So yeah, we're going with the attack on that one. Another special tree in there. We have special tree additional damage on the All Blades, which is something. It's something that's going to do something for us, but it's not as good as you might expect. It's not getting applied at the end of it, like you have your damage and that gets flatly multiplied. I think it's literally the base damage of the special tree plus the combo, and then you factor in that. It doesn't really factor in a lot of stuff like Raven Darkness or All Blade stacks. It literally gets registered before All Blade stacks. Whoever came up with that design, by the way, my dude, you are incredibly dumb, but that's besides the point. We got the super move out of the way. Raven in there, straight into a special tree to not lose the Darkness stacks. Reverse slash back in there. Flawlessly combo interrupting in there. We can get Raven tagged in, and we can tag her out before she has to tank that super move. Special tree in there, and now the damages are starting to look a little bit better. Like, they're still not looking amazing, and I was yet again expecting a little bit more from Raven, but yet again, it's most likely because I have a hybrid build, and boy, it does not feel good when 2 parts of your special tree do not crit. That definitely doesn't feel good. Another special tree in there. Maybe I should try Raven with Dark Metal cards and Brainiac. That would be great. That might get some crazy high values, because Raven does very well with little attack damage, so maybe we try that as well. And look, my dude, if I was gonna use Beta Club on Raven, this would have been a one-shot, but since I didn't do that, it's gonna be 2 fights. So it doesn't matter that much in terms of efficiency. If it would have mattered much in terms of efficiency, I wouldn't have done it, my dudes, but yeah, it just doesn't matter that much in terms of efficiency. Another special tree in there, reverse slash back in. Combo interrupt again, and here we're trying to get the 4 All Blade stacks on Raven, special tree. We're really going hard for that thing. Reverse slash back in. Combo interrupt again. Another special tree in there. And boy, his damage on basic attack hits while he actually inflicts the burn. Oh, I was gonna say they're not too bad, and I might be wrong about the thermal gloves, but nah, bro, that damage is because of the Raven Darkness. Like, I literally forgot about that. And yeah, just with the last special tree that we were able to do, we managed to kill this. Yeah, this was better damage than with the Dark Metal cards, though I did play slightly better than with Dark Metal cards, so my conclusion is that I think it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, my Dark Metal cards were like level 7 or 6 now, I think level 6. So for a lot of you, level 6 Dark Metal cards might not be a reality, but All Blades might be a reality, so we might as well go for that. We have here boss Batwoman. We're going to open up with Batman who laughs here. We're getting his super move out of the way to get that percentage health damage. And over here I'm paying attention to combo interrupting. I'm really paying attention to make sure I block the first hit, because previous to this I would just rush it. And you can see it works. It works for the most part. There we go, super move in there to make sure we get all the percentage health damage out of the way. That might be leftover. Have Sword of Salvation on Venom Who Laughs, we have North Snow Globe on Deathstroke, and we got all the percentage health damage, so now we're going to get going with Deathstroke. Gonna try to gap close a bit. Something that you're actually worse at doing on an emulator than on a mobile is gap closing with spamming block, because like I can spam my spacebar, but spamming my spacebar does get nowhere close to the frequency I can spam block on phone with my finger. So that's something you also need to consider when choosing to play on a PC or on a mobile device. Combo interrupting there, another special 2. And she's gonna do super move. He didn't die, so that's great. I'm actually going to let him die here because I have a lot of energy to go around. So a special 2 in there from the clone. There we go. That's some good percentage health damage. Gonna get close carefully. And boy, I don't know, my dude. I feel like my swipe probably should have taken priority in that scenario, but yeah, my fault. I'll take it. I could have been more careful. My fault there. And boy, that swipe attack was quite long range. But yeah, complaining too much about swipe attacks already. Gonna block a bit here, special 2 in there. That clone performed quite underwhelmingly. Hopefully this clone will do better. Like we could combo interrupt her until the end of the map, the right corner, but I'm not feeling too confident in that, so I'm not gonna try to do that. Another special 2 in there, and this clone is not gonna live long, so we're going to back off, hopefully getting another one in there. There we go. And yeah, there's not much I can do. There's nowhere left for me to back off, so that's going to be it for that clone. Dr. Fate was just available. I don't feel like he's mandatory on this fight, and the only place where he would really help out is to get the clones to do more special 2s, but his buffs sadly don't apply to the clones. Yeah, that was actually Deathstroke's last percentage hull damage out of the way. Re-engage the combo into a special 3 in there. Another special 3 because she just backs off, so we're just going to shoot her from range. And another special 3, there we go. That's about it for this one. And we're going to actually have one more fight for this video, which is going to be a second boss kill plus reward. Oh boy, you're so lucky to watch this, am I right, guys? You're so blessed. I literally put 2 boss rewards in the same video, and the main reason for that is because I was too lazy to do 2 videos yesterday, and most likely will go for today. I mean, I'm not really that lazy. Like I've been doing some work. I kind of said this to some people or in some video, but I got an apartment, a flat to live by myself, and I got it for pretty cheap. Like I didn't really get it myself. Like I would contribute like 10%. Like my parents contribute 90%, but they're at least happy that they're making some cash. So yeah, it's a new apartment that I'm going to eventually move into, but we got it for cheap because so far it's a dumpster fire, so it needs renovating, so that's why I haven't been posting a lot and I haven't been streaming. So yeah, sorry about that one, my dudes. We're going to get back on track, we're going to get back on the Sigma Male grind set with YouTube as soon as I move in, but until then, unless there's some new content out there that they released that I really need to talk about, we're going to take it at a little bit of a slower pace. And as soon as I move in there, we're going to go yet again full grind set modes with streams every day and at least 2 uploads. But yeah, just bear with me until then. So yeah, with that being said, this fight will soon get to the point where I speed things up. We're going to let him kill a character so we don't get unusual gameplay. Yeah, that's the point here. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. The rewards for this dude will be garbage as usual. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, drop a like if you like the video, drop a dislike if you dislike the video. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite fight. With that being said, I'll hopefully see you all in the next one. Goodbye!